Well, this is the update video on my layout. As you can see, I finally got all the cork road bed down. I've got a little trimming left to do on some of the sidings and switches. And of course I had to get my cars out, my trucks and my trains, and started putting them all out and testing them. And I spent 3 days oiling engines and repairing cars. Unfortunately, I sustained a lot of damage in the move. The 1,500 miles kind of tore them up. This motor here was from back in the 80s, and the motor burned up in it, and I was unable to find a suitable replacement motor for it. So I converted it to a dummy engine, and he just kind of always sits on the siding somewhere. All these lovely cars here in the center are in all need of repairs, either new trucks or couplings or both. Some of them just cosmetic damage. And these cars here, the Proto series, all of them are Norman Rockwell collector's edition. I bought those 8 years ago and have never had them out of the box. I may end up using them, but as you can see, there's another switch there. It needs to be finished trimming. I started trimming it, but I haven't finished it yet. I wanted to get engines out and run them and test, make sure my track work was up to snuff, and had a few little gremlins crawling around in there and derailments and so forth, but for the most part, there's another one of my steam engines that suffered some damage, and that really breaks my heart that it got damaged. I had everything bubble wrapped and put in a box, and I still suffered some damage. So another Santa Fe motor, I'm not sure the model number on it. So one of my fellow YouTubers might tell me I've had that for about 7 years. And there's my GP40 and a war bonnet military train next to it. And the GP40 is hooked to a coal train, which is on the main line coming through the yard. And then there's another GP40, which is actually a dummy engine that I purchased with this engine as a set so that they can run together. You know, I have some problems with the dummy engine being number 3291. It's got the plastic wheels under the trucks, and when it hits the turnouts, it jumps and derails, even on a straightaway. So I'm going to probably convert that to either brass or stainless trucks. I just haven't got around to it yet. And there's one of my switchers that I bought around the same time. Let me sit down here. Around the same time as I bought the GP40, it's a Southern Pacific switcher, and I bought that as a set as well. There was 2 of them in a box. It was the collector's edition, and those run great. I love those switchers. There's another Santa Fe engine, number 3183. And we got several rail cars. There's a chicken poultry car and some freight cars, part of the Army train there. And we got some old steam engines back here. And I tested and run all these engines and oiled them up and Went through a whole tube of lithium grease and a half a bottle of 3-in-1 oil, and cleaned up the trucks and cleaned up all the engines and got most of them running. There's another Santa Fe switcher. And another steam engine back there in the corner there, a Hogwarts Express. I was actually given that motor. The gal that gave it to me said that she couldn't get it to run. I spent, well, I don't know, an hour and a half cleaning it up, and it runs just fine. So you can see that kind of got a table fitting up there, or half a table fitting up there. That to give everybody an idea where I'm going with this layout. I'm going to build a platform, and there's going to be, you know, a tunnel there for the train, and that's where my city is going to be, on that half of the table. And then I'll slope it down, and I'm going to put in a little pond over here where the rail cars are sitting that I need to repair, because I'm going to repair all those here in a few next few coming weeks. And then I'll put in a dam, a pond, and a little stream, and run it underneath, and cut the wood out around the tracks here, and I'll put a little drop down box underneath that and put a little stream down through there. But then we got the siding yard over here, and all these cars tested out good and work well still, so they're on the track. They've all been oiled up and cleaned up. And there's my Santa Fe work train in the yard, staged, ready to go out and do some repairs on the tracks. And I really kind of found these unique when I bought these at a trade show in Denver several years ago. Of course, I lived in Denver at the time, but this is an actual cleaning car, and you can see when you flip I don't know if you can see this, it's kind of hard for me to hold the camera and flip the switch at the same time, but when you flip that switch there, it drops those sanding stones down onto the track. And let me set this back on here. And it's really unique because the car that's in front of it, the tanker car, and you put cleaning fluid in it, and it sprays it out on the roadbed and the rails, and then of course you have the sanding car behind it, and it cleans the rails. And actually, as it runs around the track, it's the old way of doing it. I understand they have better ones out now, but I thought that was really unique, and I got a good price on them. So, and I think they look neat. So he sold me the whole set, and I really liked it. So it's each, I guess, our own taste. And you see they're up here standing up on the train, getting ready, on the crane car, should I say, and getting ready to go out and work on the rails. So, with that being said, we'll walk around the other side of the table again. And this is a work in progress. You know, I've gotten to this point this is actually the first time that I've built a full layout with using the Code 83, Code 100 track. And as you can see, I had to put in some adjustments. You see there's a piece of metal rail underneath there. That tie broke off, and it wasn't supporting the track, and therefore it was causing a derailment. So rather than go out and spend $20 on a new switch, I modified and repaired